Hi everybody, Jed here with another video. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Now, I'm here to talk about Leitmotif. Everybody knows Leitmotif, right? Okay. For those of you who don't, you do, you just probably don't know the word. Now that I'm done sounding completely condescending to my audience, you know my voice, I always sound condescending, I'm going to talk a little bit about Leitmotif in this brief discussion, hence the title of the video. And then, next time, I'm going to be talking a bit more about how I use Leitmotif in some of the music that I've done. Basically, and this is my Dumbo understanding of it, because I'm not actually that good at musical theory, Leitmotif is a musical motif that is meant to represent a character, or an emotion, or a place, or just a something, an idea, within work. You see it an awful lot in movie scores. One of the most famous leitmotifs in history is... And leitmotif doesn't just have to represent people or places or things, it can represent feelings or ideas, so there can be romance themes. One of my favourite Lord of the Rings leitmotifs, for example, is the one called Nature's Reclamation, which goes a little something like this. And that leitmotif is used frequently to refer to events, happening that are grand and heroic, but it's actually intended by Howard Shore to represent nature. So you hear it when the moth comes to Isengard, or when the Ents march to war. So it represents the idea of nature versus machines and technology, or nature versus relentless, uncaring progress, which is a big theme of Tolkien's work, obviously. So yeah, leitmotif is a really big and important part of music, and it's a really big and important part of how we perceive music in the modern day. Now, I don't know much about leitmotif in terms of where the word comes from, or the origins of it, etc., or how it was used before its uses in popular movies, etc. But I know that popular movies have, sort of taken leitmotif as a musical idea and used it to really great effect in a lot of cases. Every single big heroic theme that you've ever heard, whether it be the music of Star Wars or the music of Lord of the Rings, or even superhero movies, there are leitmotifs that are absolutely essential to making those movies work, and often the use of leitmotif is really clever. For example, Avengers Infinity War, if everyone's over Avengers Infinity War, I know, stop crying at the back, I know it's painful, but don't worry, everything will be fine. Avengers Infinity War is really clever in its use of leitmotif. You've got the Avengers theme from the original movie, which was scored by Alan Silvestri. Alan Silvestri's come back for Avengers 3, which is great because I think he's a lot better than Danny Elfman was. And what he's done that's really clever is he holds back on using the full Avengers theme until all the big Avengers are properly in play in the events that are happening. So you've got bits of the original Avengers theme, like for example, when Captain America comes in to rescue Vision, there's a bit of the original Avengers theme from the end of the first movie that plays for that bit, but it doesn't play the full thing, because it's not all the Avengers yet. The only time that you actually get the full Avengers theme is when Thor comes in Wakanda, because then, boom, there it is. That is the moment when the Avengers are all here, and the leitmotif is there to let you know, yes, that's the Avengers, feel the emotions. So it's a really great emotional trick to use when you're scoring a movie, and that's what makes it, a really handy trick to know when you're learning how to score things. So as I say, later this week there'll be a video about me discussing how I use leitmotif, and I'll be talking about two projects. One is the Exemplar project, which is a personal undertaking of mine, and the other is a project that I'm not going to talk about in terms of the project itself, but I'm going to talk about the music and what the music represents in very vague terms. Mainly because that's a project that it's not, well, it is kind of big, but it's not really kind of big. And anyway, I'll talk more about that project in detail when I know I'm allowed to. So anyway, I hope everybody's going to have a lovely day. I don't know if it's boiling where you are, but where I am, it's insane. So yeah, everybody stay safe, take care, and have a lovely day. See ya!